franchises do whatever it takes. You think a team like New York, with all of the connections they have, with all of the sponsorship deals they have, you think they're not going to do whatever it takes to bring in the players they want? Yeah, on paper we'll give you a smaller contract, but don't worry about it. We're going to hook you up over here. Don't worry about it. We're going to send you a brown paper bag full of cash over there.
Winning teams do whatever it takes to succeed. That's their mindset. Right now, the New York Liberty are showing this better than anyone in the WNBA. They recently signed Satu Sabali to a multi-year deal, adding her to a strong lineup that already includes Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, and Jonquil Jones. On paper, it seems hard to believe they can afford all these stars. The league has a salary cap to limit spending, so it raises the question, how are they managing to make this work?
We're going to send you a brown paper bag full of cash over there. Don't worry about it at all. You need some free food. Don't even worry about it. We have connections over here, and we're going to utilize those connections. The Size are billionaires. They know what they're doing. The New York Liberty picked up Satu Sabali in free agency, and fans are demanding them. They need to be investigated. Fans are asking themselves...
People on WNBA social media are making accusations like teams using secret cash payments, sponsorship deals, free housing, and other benefits to convince players to take smaller contracts. Whether or not that's actually true, the main question still makes sense. The New York Liberty lost Betnijah Laney Hamilton and Nyara Sabali in the expansion draft, but they are still bringing back stars like Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, and Jonquil Jones. On top of that, they've added Satu Sabali, one of the best two-way players in the league. When you look at all of this, it just doesn't seem to add up financially.
Look, Liberty know what they're doing. Chicago Sky, go out, get Skylar Diggins. Chicago Sky, Skylar Diggins for Kaya Jackson. That trade goes through. Azura Stevens, Courtney Vandersloot, maybe a Flaugier Johnson. Okay, Chicago. Indiana Fever picked up their backup point guard. All right. Stephanie White, reunited with an old friend. Reunited and it feels so good.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The Indiana Fever have Caitlin Clark on a rookie contract worth about $500,000 this season, while Kelsey Mitchell just signed a Supermax extension. Together, they take up around $1.9 million in salary, which is basically like having two max-level players. So the idea that Kelsey's contract is stopping Indiana from signing more talent doesn't really make sense. Meanwhile, the New York Liberty also have cap limits, with Breanna Stewart earning over $500,000. Even with similar financial limits, New York has managed to build a super team, while Indiana has added players like Monique Billings and Natasha Howard, which makes the difference in team building stand out even more.
Satu Sabali has agreed to sign a multi-year deal to join the New York Liberty. Agent Zach Miller of WME Basketball tells me Alexa Filippo and Kendra Andrews. Sabali departs after leading the Phoenix Mercury to the 2025 WNBA Finals. She hardly led them there, but she was on the team. Satu Sabali, ring chasing like Kevin Durant. Oh, it's not working out for me in Dallas. I'll go to Phoenix. Oh, this isn't really working out how I thought it was going to work.
Let's look at what actually happened in this free agency period. The New York Liberty added Satu Sabali, who played an important role in helping the Phoenix Mercury reach the 2025 WNBA Finals. She's a strong two-way forward who can defend multiple positions and create her own shot, making her a huge addition to a team that already won the championship last season. At the same time, the Chicago Sky have been very active too. They brought in Skylar Diggins-Smith and made trades for Camila Cardoso and Michaela Onyenware. They're making bold moves and clearly trying to improve their team quickly.
But don't worry, we got Monique Billings. Oh, don't worry. Don't you worry. Yeah, Liberty fans, yeah, they're puffing their chest out. Winning franchises do whatever it takes. Utilize your connections and sponsorships and get the players you want. Yeah. Yeah. And I see a lot of chatter out there. You know, this is because Kelsey Mitchell took the Supermax.
And then there's the Indiana Fever. They brought back their backup point guard, and head coach Stephanie White reunited with another familiar player from her time with the Connecticut Sun. In the first year, it was DeWanna Bonner. Now, it's Tyasha Harris. The pattern is pretty clear. White is bringing in players who already understand her system and have experience running her offense. That approach can work, but the issue is that many Fever fans spent last season criticizing how slow and predictable that offense looked. So now, it raises a fair question: if the system was already struggling, does bringing in more players familiar with that same system actually fix the problem, or just repeat it?
Where's Alana Smith? Where is Alana Smith? If you're telling me Ty and Monique Billings are backups, cool. What else? Stephanie White came last year, brought leftovers from Connecticut. Woohoo! Oh, it was DeWanna Bonner. Stephanie White, second year, brings more leftovers from Connecticut. Woohoo! It's Tyasha Harris.
Here's where the frustration really comes from. This was supposed to be one of the biggest free agency periods in WNBA history. With expansion shaking things up, teams had more chances to improve, and many were aggressive. The New York Liberty went out and added Satu Sabally, while the Chicago Sky reshaped their roster around Angel Reese. But then you look at the Indiana Fever. They have the biggest star in women's basketball, Caitlin Clark, and just came off one of the most watched seasons ever. Yet their main additions were Monique Billings and Tyasha Harris, both solid players, but not exactly headline moves. That's why fans are questioning the direction. Do these moves really show championship ambition? Are they enough to challenge top teams like the Las Vegas Aces, who still have stars like Aya Wilson, Kelsey Plum, and Jackie Young? Meanwhile, New York just got even stronger, and Indiana is mostly sticking with the same roster, hoping that internal improvement and better health will be enough to compete at the highest level.
Am I missing something? Tell me what I'm missing in the comment section, please. What am I missing? We don't like Stephanie's offense, so what does Stephanie do? Oh, I'm just going to get somebody that knows my offense. Oh, yay! Huh? Folks, this is how you know last year traumatized us. This is how you know last year was a traumatizing experience. Again, Ty Harris, I'm sorry. This isn't aimed at you. Monique, I'm sorry, Monique.
The Aaliyah Boston question is hanging over everything for the Indiana Fever. Fans are basically asking, where is the big move to support Aaliyah Boston? If players like Monique Billings and Tyasha Harris are just depth pieces, that's fine, but what else is coming? That's the real concern. Because if the front office looked at last season's issues and decided the answer was mostly run it back, plus a couple of role players, fans are not convinced that fixes the bigger problems. Last season left a mark on Fever fans. The experiment with DeWanna Bonner didn't really work out the way they hoped. Natasha Howard struggled with injuries. The spacing problems never really got solved, and the defensive rotations often looked disorganized throughout the year. So now the frustration is simple: if those same core issues are still there, and no major upgrade has arrived to truly change the team's structure around Boston and Caitlin Clark, then fans are left wondering what the actual plan is moving forward.
Oh, but Kelsey signed for the Supermax. I don't care. Caitlin Clark's making $500,000. Let's just say between Kelsey and Caitlin, they're making $1.9 million between the two of them. That's like having two number one players on your team, 1A and 1B, 1A and 2A. However, I'm not going to get into that. Each making $900,000 each. There's your pay cut right there. Now
fans are reacting strongly to all of this frustration and disappointment. After last season's struggles, the Indiana Fever made fans feel hopeful again, but now the response in free agency has been very small moves like adding Tyasha Harris and Monique Billings. Because of how low expectations were set last year, fans are even celebrating these signings, but that also shows a bigger problem. When a franchise is happy just because it avoided making bad or questionable signings, it means the standard has dropped too low. A lot of fans were hoping Indiana would make a big move or land a major star like Gabby Williams, but that kind of signing never really happened. Instead, there's still uncertainty about roster building and whether the team is truly trying to maximize its biggest assets, especially Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. The concern is that instead of aggressively fixing last season's problems, like spacing issues, defensive confusion, and inconsistent offense, the team is mostly running it back with small changes. At the same time, fans are comparing Indiana to teams like the New York Liberty, who are building stacked rosters with star players like Breanna Stewart and others. That leads to accusations online about whether some teams have hidden advantages through sponsorships or outside deals, although nothing is clearly proven and it's all debated in fan circles. But the bigger argument is about fairness and strategy. Some teams are clearly pushing hard to win now, while Indiana seems to be relying on internal improvement, hoping players develop, stay healthy.